Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone in between, welcome to the comedy extravaganza that is The Adventures of E. Strap yourselves in because in this podcast we dive into hilarious personal stories, mishaps, and everyday life. From the awkward encounters at the grocery store to trying to adult in a world that seems determined to trip us up at every turn. So whether you're listening during your commute or just kicking back with a cup of coffee, get ready to laugh until your sides hurt. Here's your host, Elissa.
Well, hello, friends. Thanks for coming back again.
Hi.
I don't know what is wrong with you. Are you having a stroke?
Maybe. I do smell burnt toast.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm a little tired.
Anyway, we both are.
Yeah, right.
We're running on fumes.
Yep.
I think we should, first and foremost, address the extra chin in the room.
Yeah. Hello, Chimothy.
Yeah, this is Chimothy. So, I just want to kind of tell you guys why we had to push back the release date.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So, about a week and a half ago-ish, somewhere around there, I was at work, and we had a emergent situation. And so I remember I went to brush the hair out of my face or something. I don't know. I did have my wedding ring on that day, my band, and I hit something on my face. Now, what that was, I don't know. I don't know if there was a bump there. I don't know. We don't know. I go home. Well, come home, go to sleep, wake up, and I have two chins. Okay.
Now, I'll be honest. Like, I saw you that day after. It wasn't really
that
bad.
bad. Okay.
Looked like you had a little bit of a pimple starting or something.
But it was swollen. It was pretty swollen. And it hurt, and it was weird, and I didn't know what was going on. So I went to bed. About 2 in the morning, I woke Jason up, and I was like, you have to take me to the hospital. I can't hardly swallow. I don't feel right. Like, something's not right. It was a very sad experience, which we shan't not to go into.
Yeah. All I'm going to say is the first hospital we went to, they can suck a dick. They're horrible.
So they walked in and looked at me, and they're like, yep, it's infected. Here's 2 antibiotics. And that was it.
Yeah.
Sent me on my way. I was like, okay.
Didn't address the fact that you were struggling to swallow or breathe.
Nothing,
or,
yeah.
any of those things.
So I'm like, okay. I felt so terrible. I didn't even argue. We came home. I went back to bed. I slept till 4 o'clock that evening. Got up, and I knew something was really wrong. And it was 3 times the size at that point. My neck was swollen. I couldn't swallow. I couldn't hardly talk because I couldn't move my face because the swelling was so bad. And it was just all red. It was terrible. We didn't have a clue what was going on. Go to the second ER. They ultrasounded my face. They're like, there's pockets of infection. It's probably cellulitis. We have no idea how you could have gotten this. There's not enough for us to drain. And it wasn't draining on its own. So nobody cultured it. Did labs. They looked fairly decent. Was dehydrated because I couldn't swallow. But anyway, cut to the short, it was just swelling. Yeah. Which we knew.
Like swelling to a point where it looked like your skin was about to pop.
Yeah.
Like bad. It was the most swollen thing I think I've ever seen.
It was so angry.
Yeah.
They put me on another antibiotic because Jason just so happened to think, hey, Dirt very well could have licked your face, and she likes to eat shit.
Yep.
So we mentioned that to the doctor, and he's like, well, that's a horse of a different color.
Yep.
So switched out my antibiotics. Here we are, actually have a semi-normal face now. And we're on our way.
Moving forward.
Chimothy's about gone.
Yep.
He's been evicted.
Yeah, he's been evicted, and dirt licking things.
But I don't let her lick me. Like, she's quick, though. She gets me every now and again.
Oh, she'll jump up, like run into the bedroom, jump up on the bed, and just like straight face mash you just right there.
You have no chance to stop.
No.
Well, she's also giving me ringworm.
Yeah.
On my leg from licking my leg.
Yeah.
Like, she's gross. She's fucking nasty.
I don't get it. Like, no matter what we do. But we love her.
We do love her, but Jesus.
Yeah. And we've tried every like way to train her, to work with her, even meds, even special food.
Nothing. It doesn't stop it.
Nothing.
So that's what happened. I wish I could make this up, but I can't.
You know what I just realized? We have a fetish dog. You know how like some people are like fetish for feet or fetish for bukkake, you know?
Oh, okay.
Like she loves to eat shit.
Mm-hmm.
She has a fetish for shit.
Well, and she likes to eat extension cord, like wires.
She's backed off from that. She hasn't eaten, I should say, any wires as of late.
As of late. That's the key word here.
Yeah. She's still chewing on everything she could find, especially outdoor pillows, lumber.
It's been terrible.
Yeah.
I still don't know why we got a puppy.
And shit, she's almost a year old now.
God, and she's still terrible.
Yeah. We've got another year.
So
Puppy stage.
So my face has been pretty fucked up.
Yeah. But you're betters now.
We are betters. So anyway.
Yep. So that's the reason for the delay.
Moving right along.
Yeah. We don't think people would have wanted to like see the trauma.
It was so bad. You can't unsee that shit.
No, you can't unsee it. Like I was frightened.
Chimothy was just
like not only was I frightened for your safety and your health, because obviously you not being able to breathe and everything else, but like it was scary.
It was scary looking. It was so angry.
It was the angriest fucking swollen thing I think I've ever seen. Like it wasn't. It's not even. My finger's not as bad, and I damn near broke that thing when I smashed it.
I know. It looks terrible.
Yeah, it does. It's like black and blue and purple all around. But anyways.
That's a horse of another color.
Yeah, should have buff out.
So in this celebrating season of graduations, Jason and I have been so blessed to go to a few.
Yay.
And if the bleachers and the people weren't enough, the screaming kids really threw me over the edge.
Yeah, who the fuck takes a baby to a graduation ceremony?
Like a baby.
Yeah. Like, stay your ass at home.
Well, and packing a bunch of chunky people in them bleachers, it's just not, it's like a can of sardines. It's my hell. Yeah. That was my hell. It was the most unhinged graduation speeches I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Ever. One of them mentioned Feet Finder.
Yes.
Another one said that their boyfriend said that they peaked in high school.
Yeah, that was a little odd.
That was weird. And that she should just calm down because it wasn't going to get any better for her.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
and I'm like,
really weird.
And then what was another one said something weird too, or brought up something. I don't remember what he said.
Like there were a lot of them talked about like the one thing that one of them continued to say was like, we know life sucks. We know this is going to suck. Like she just kept saying everything sucks.
But it's going to be fine, but it sucks.
But it sucks.
It was weird. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, have I just not been paying attention? Is this like normal for all graduations?
Well, and I thought like valedictorian speeches, salutatorian speeches, I thought they had to be like read by the staff prior to presentation.
They have to be proofread, but apparently not so much maybe?
Yeah, no, there was zero fucks.
They were inappropriate, I feel like. And I'm like, I don't know if that's because I'm old now and I'm a prude, but I don't feel like I'm a prude.
No, like there was one of the kids, he was actually really funny. Like he, delivered some good lines and like it was very meaningful. Like it touched on a lot of positive things and positive growth.
The one that talked about the teacher.
Yeah, that had passed or whatever years ago.
Which is very sweet.
Yeah, and shaping your life and helping you. But like everybody else was very much about their own personal sorrows. Yeah. It wasn't about growth or experience or learning or
going off to college.
Yeah, the next phase of life or, all these other things. It was like, oh yeah, life is going to suck going forward. Oh yeah, I might as well open a Feet Finder account, because I suck at school. What?
It was so weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if it's me. Am I hitting that age where suddenly I'm just a boring old lady?
No, honestly, I think it's today's culture. It really is.
But do you think anybody else thought that was inappropriate besides us?
I think the teaching staff and the faculty and everything thought it was somewhat inappropriate. You could tell by the looks on their faces. But it's funny because teachers are so limited as to what they can tell their students to do or not to do anymore. And all this other stuff that I think they've just gotten to a point where, say whatever the fuck you want. Like, what's it matter?
Right.
You're going to do it anyways.
We can't stop
you. We can't discipline you, the freedom of speech and all these other things. Like, that's one thing in today's schools I feel like they've taken away is, couth and just teaching kids how to be appropriate at certain things.
Did you ever have to take a class in high school like that taught you how to do a resume or taught you the place settings like at a formal dinner?
I remember home ec, but that was more like middle school, not high school.
We actually had a class your senior year. You took it at some point during your senior year.
I wasn't there, so.
No, I'm just saying like my school did.
Yeah.
We went to two very different schools anyway, but my school, you took a class your senior year. They taught you how to set up a resume. Mm-hmm. They taught you the place settings on a formal dinner, all your forks, everything. And just how to properly shake a hand or introduce yourself. And I look back and I'm so thankful for that class.
Right.
Because I've never in my life, thank God I've never needed to know which fork is what. But in a pinch situation, I can't figure it out.
But the interesting thing is, like, I had family that taught me that at a very young age. Like, I can remember, my grandmother saying, hey, will you go set the table? And, this fork goes here, this fork goes there.
And that just shows you how different we grew up, too.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up on a farm where you had a fork and a knife. Like, that was it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was very, very different. But the interesting part is, like, that was only at one house. Like, at my other grandparents' house, it was
very much
fork and knife, or a spoon.
Like what I grew up with.
It was very relaxed.
Speaking of that, it's no secret I collect Pyrex. I'm a 100-year-old lady. I like a craft. I like a small thing. I like a potpourri. What do you want from me, okay?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
We spent 3 hours in a antique mall. Mm-hmm. And $400 later, we walked out with boxes of Pyrex. Mm-hmm. Was it everything you'd hope for and so much more, Jason?
Sure, because I'm like your hunter. Like, I am.
He's my eyes.
Yeah.
Because I'm blind.
Yeah, I see everything. Like, I can quick scan.
And I get so wrapped up in everything that I miss so many things.
Yeah, and I've got a system down where I can just look up and down through a booth or whatever with stuff.
He's like, hey, it's right there. Right there.
Yeah. I'll just be walking by. You'll be like 2 booths behind me, and I just point to the left. I'm like, it's over there.
Right here.
It's over there. 3rd shelf up on the left.
Do you want me to get it for you? I got it here. Yeah. Do you want this one? Okay. There was a couple times I was like, no, I don't want it. It's too expensive. He's like, I saw how excited you got. You're getting it.
Yeah.
He goes, you work too?
You work too?
Well, Thank you, Tommy T-Rex, for that.
Yeah, right. But no, like, there were certain things that you've obviously been hunting for a very long time that we just randomly came across. And I'm like, at this point, like, what does it matter? Like, you work too. It's okay.
I read something that said that our generation does that because we grew up with shows like Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, and we have like this need to treasure hunt, basically.
Yeah.
And I thought that was so funny and so true because that was like my favorite show.
Some men hunt deer, others Pyrex.
I wouldn't say that too loud. I'm just saying.
Hey, you know what? I know my truth. Don't judge me.
I know my truth.
I know my truth. Like, it's cool.
Speaking of our age.
Oh, what?
No, I
know you have a list. Yeah,
I read this thing where it was like well, you knew how I had to search if we were a millennial because I wasn't sure. I didn't know how that worked. Which, by the way, Mike, I was right on the year on the podcast we did.
Oh,
it did go to like 1997 or whatever it was. Anyway, millennial sorting houses are as follows.
This sounds interesting.
Plants, books, baking, and fitness. we all know which one we fell into, and it was the plant one.
Yeah, with a little bit in the baking.
No, like these bitches be having these sourdough starters and growing these things, and no.
Well,
making
I mean,
focaccia. Making focaccia. Who makes
Jesus Christ.
focaccia at home?
Have you seen how expensive bread's getting now? Fuck
Bread?
yeah, you better have a fucking sourdough starter.
I don't have no sourdough starter.
Yeah, you need
I don't
to get
know.
on that.
Nope. I have no want to do any of that. I just want to say focaccia one more time. Okay.
Focaccia.
They make all kinds. Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
But like, that's why we're working to build like a garden and some other things so we can be self-sustaining, so we're not having to spend all the money at the fucking grocery store, because that shit sucks.
Yeah, it does. It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's expensive to be married to you, Mr. I have to have special shakes and special Red Bull.
I literally buy like 4 or 5 things for myself at the grocery for the week because I hardly eat anymore. Like I get my breakfast stuff, I get my Atkins shakes, I get my Red Bull and coffee. That's it.
I know people. I know you eat the same damn things
Yep.
every day.
Morning.
Which is so funny because we have recently befriended some children. I mean that in the nicest, most respectful way. They're like 22,
they're
25.
young enough to be oopses for us. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, they're so sweet. And we love them to death. And we were with them over the weekend. And there's nothing quite like an age gap like that just to snap you right back into reality and remind you how fucking old you are.
Yep.
And that hurt my soul a little bit.
It didn't necessarily hurt my soul. I think it was interesting because it actually gave that feeling of need, almost like someone from a younger generation truly wanted to learn, truly wanted to, because I helped this person, build a fire pit and showed him how to do things. And, and it was nice to have that kind of interaction, to be needed in society, so to speak, if that makes sense.
I get what you're saying. I do get that. It's kind of the way we, I don't want to say our grandparents because we're not that old, but like our aunts and uncles maybe. Like the way we needed them. In that adult way.
And see, it was my grandparents. It wasn't my aunts and uncles. It was my grandparents.
See, mine was my great uncle and great aunt. They were who I was mostly around. And my great grandparents. I was around them too a lot.
Yeah.
But I get that. It was just interesting.
Yeah. It was a fun dynamic.
It really was. And they were so sweet. They're like, your humor is just...
Yeah, it's on point.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know this lingo, guys. I'm 100 years old.
Yeah, they're saying shit. I'm like, what does that mean?
We didn't even know if they knew who Mrs. Doubtfire was.
I know. That concerned me.
We're going to circle back to Miss Doubtfire.
Oh, okay.
So,
hello.
I'm going to get a Mrs. Doubtfire tattoo with Lacey.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm saying this right or not, so bear with me. It's called a Cupie style. Like it's a cartoon style Mrs. Doubtfire. So anyway, I was talking to Jason about it. I'm like, hey, I think I'm going to get it right here on my leg instead of where I was originally thinking about. Like, what do you think? And in true Jason fashion, he goes, Elissa, and I go, never mind. I don't even know why I asked. He goes, what do you mean? And I was like, because I know you're going to say, you can do whatever you want, your body.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah,
you
pretty
work
much.
Too.
You work too. And I said, okay, if that's how you feel, then I'm just going to get it on my ass. So every time you're from behind, you can go, hello.
Yep.
And we did it literally at the same time.
Because I was literally starting to say that. I'm like, yeah, you should get it on your ass. So every time I pull down your pants, I can be like, hello.
And we said hello at the same. And we died laughing. And Jason goes, this is why we're married.
Yeah. Like we mesh. Like the universe just went and locked us in.
Two weirdos just locked in.
Yeah. Locked in for life.
For life. Forever.
Yeah. I think forever's getting shorter and shorter as we get older and older.
Ew, okay. We don't need to talk about that. You know what Brenda said? Brenda said to me today? Brenda said, well, Elissa, I've decided if I'm still alive this time next year. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what?
Do what?
Yeah, if I'm alive. And I said, let's not talk like that, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But at some point in time, I mean, we really are going to have to think about that.
I don't want to.
That unruly, ugly truth of, end stage, end game, you know.
Why?
I don't know, like to be prepared.
This is dark and I don't want to deal with it. So
Oh,
on that note,
whatever.
speaking of Brenda, you remember what she told me when Chimothy started? She said, well, Elissa, I can tell you one thing. You don't ever need no chin implant. It's doing you no favors. Thanks, Mom.
And who did she akin your likeness to? Jay Leno.
They're so mean to me.
No, do you remember?
Yes.
She said that because she
did.
she called you baby girl.
Yeah, she did. She made fun of my Jay Leno chin, and I didn't appreciate it.
Yeah.
She's brutal sometimes. And then when we were
but the
talking
funny thing
about
is, like,
it,
she doesn't even think she's being brutal. Like, she just says it off the cuff.
and then when I was talking about it, she goes, well, you know, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like a joke. And I was like,
Sure. Whatever you say. Brenda?
So also today, big news happened.
Big news.
Big news. My fourth article came out. We don't have the magazine. We probably won't be able to get the magazine because it's in Australia, and I'm gonna guess Kate doesn't have access to it. I don't know.
They need to ship that shit.
I had another article come out, and we'll share the pictures on Facebook, I'm sure. So, So now you have to like us on Facebook. Oh, see what I did there?
Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm getting a little bit better about those things.
Good.
Anyway, another article about my sleep shopping was released in Australia this morning.
Or yesterday.
No, it was this morning. Oh, yeah, because the time difference. It was probably yesterday there.
Yeah.
So, if anybody happens to be in Australia, let me know. I highly doubt that's happening, but
yeah, if you're listening from down under,
let me know. Yeah. I'll buy a magazine off you.
Yeah, we'll buy it. Ship it to us.
If I give you my address, though, you can't come and stalk me.
Maybe we should just open a P.O. box for these reasons.
You know, I thought about that.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to tell the people what you got in the mail?
What did I get?
Your very own?
I have a goat now. A screaming goat.
You can't say I don't love you.
Yeah.
But I made you promise me one thing.
And what was that?
Not to irritate the fuck out of me.
Which, you know what? I haven't even taken out of the box
I know.
yet.
That's why I was surprised you didn't have it with you.
Yeah, I thought about it, but I'm like, no.
Save that for later.
Yeah, the timing's got to be just right. Yeah, see?
Okay. Put that away.
Timing's
That's a
gotta be just
little
right.
weird.
See, like I'm gonna creep up on you. Like one night we'll be in bed or
I
something
swear to
like
God.
that. We'll be all cuddled up, and I'll just like lay my head a certain way so it triggers it. And
Have you seen those videos on like TikTok and Facebook about the women who wear all black paint or all black bodysuits, and then they wait and their husbands are like laying in bed and it's dark, and they like creep up on them, and then they smile and like their eyes are real white, and like that's all you can see, and then they'll duck back in the shadow, and the husbands are like somebody's over their shoulder. Have you seen that?
no,
I've thought about doing that to you a few times, and I'm like, you know what would end up happening is you would elbow the fuck out of me, and my nose would be broke, and it'd be a whole situation.
I'd reach for my gun.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Local woman gets shot.
Yeah, while trying to spook her husband.
To make him giggle.
Tonight on Channel 13 News.
I do not want Chuck Lofton narrating my life. No, thank you.
Right.
Oh, so I haven't done it.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing. Just kind of like the one time, like when we were first dating, and like you come over to the house and I was sick, and like I hadn't heard my phone. You didn't, like, I hadn't heard that you were coming, like anything like that.
Well, you had been asleep all day, so
Yeah.
I didn't call you. I was just going to show up.
Yeah.
I had a key, like.
But like baby girl, my dog, she popped up and started making rustling because she heard something. And it was you coming up the stairs, and I had no idea it was you. I just thought somebody was in my fucking house.
Yeah.
And I literally reached for my gun, and like you popped open the door and there was a gun looking at you. And I was like,
Almost.
holy, yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. I was like, holy shit. Like, let a motherfucker know what's going
I
on.
was trying to surprise you, asshole.
I know, but shit, I don't want to shoot you.
Well, me neither, but here we are. No.
Damn.
Damn, son.
Good Lord. So what else you got in them notes?
That's all.
No, you got more than that.
No, I really didn't. Oh, the songs. I've been meaning to bring this up forever.
Yeah.
I really have. How many times have I talked about this?
A few, yeah.
So recently I had a new playlist come up, and it's like 90s songs. Like songs that I feel like we grew up with.
Because we did grow up in the 90s.
Is that why? God, you're a dick.
I know.
Anyway, I was listening to a few songs that I remember singing as a kid, and I was like, wait a minute. That's not right. Those words aren't right. I've been singing them wrong for years.
Like?
Okay, the first one is, this one's not the most embarrassing, unfortunately, is, do you remember the Wallflowers? Bob Dylan's son is the lead singer, and they had that song come out, One Headlight.
Jacob Dylan, yep.
Yeah, so I always thought it said, listen to the Sammy Terry trees, like Sammy Terry, the scary vampire guy from Martinsville. It's cemetery trees. That's not even the worst one.
You know, the way it's sung, I could see how you can
misconstrue that.
Yeah, but I don't know why I would automatically think to a local person.
Oh, sorry.
You know,
I
that
don't
would be
know.
in the Wallflower song.
Isn't that hilarious though, that's where my mind went?
Yeah, but the fact that it's synced up with that is
weird too.
Yeah, a little weird. All right,
Okay.
what's next? What do you got?
Little Miss Can't Be Wrong by the Spin Doctors.
Oh yeah, that was
the chorus part.
Yep.
I always thought it was Little Miss Carefree Roam. That's definitely, obviously,
that
not
is
it.
nowhere even close.
Not it. Another one is, it's called On My Way. It's like from that movie, Karina. It goes, on my way. You know that one?
On my way.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was words. I just thought they were humming.
You just thought they were going, on my way.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that one a while back.
And then the best one I saved for last.
Hit me.
Well, let me just say this. I was singing it right for most of my life.
For most of your life.
Thought I was singing it wrong. Corrected myself in my older years. I'm getting so excited about this.
Yeah, you're like getting so worked
all
up.
over the place.
Yeah.
Thought I was singing it wrong. Corrected myself. Come to find out, I had been singing it right prior. Garth Brooks, Rodeo. Where he says the Spurs and let it go. I thought, oh, that's not what he says. It's let it gold. Like in the buckle. No. It is let it go. Apparently that's some cowboy phrase. I had to Google that one.
Oh, you Googled that shit.
Do you have any that you can think of?
Not that I... Oh, what's that Black Crow song? Oh, I can't remember the name of it. Oh, why is it not like, oh my God, senility is setting in.
It is. I see the panic on your
Like,
face.
yeah, like
you just looked at me like, why isn't it coming?
Yeah, like I used to know music trivia. Like,
now you know
music
how
is
I
my
feel
thing.
all the
Oh
time.
my God, what has
sucks,
happened?
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
It just scared you a little, didn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. You know, we were just talking about, that end game kind of planning. Here we go.
It's happening.
Here we go. I need to add like a neurologist to my team now.
Shut up. Fuck
like,
you.
Got the heart doctor, got everybody else. Like, neurologist, here we come.
Do I need to have a team of doctors or what?
Yeah, something. Like, I work too. God.
We said that in front of somebody the other day,
Yeah.
quoting Tom.
Yeah.
And they just looked at us and I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's
no,
an inside joke.
Yeah, it's kind of an inside joke. Hey, listen to our podcast because you'd figured out.
It's
then.
really funny.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm still trying to think of that.
We're just gonna have to glaze over this one.
Oh no. Oh,
It
it's
just
gonna come to me
happened.
like
It
right
just-
at the end of the podcast. Oh no.
It just happened.
Fuck.
Man, oh man.
Like I'm so defeated right now.
I know, man. And I don't even have anything good to come back with, and I feel real bad for you right now.
Like you could totally be talking shit to me right now, and you've got nothing.
I'm awkward and uncomfortable.
You got awkward pause going on.
I did. I was like,
Oh my God. Oh God. Damn it. I have to Google it.
Oh, somebody's got to get out their phone. Google,
I have to do it.
Google, my man.
I have to do it. Let's look out. Let's look out.
Now you're pulling an Elissa. Let's look out.
Yes.
You guys, we have him so discombobulated.
Hard to handle.
I even listened to that today on my way home from work.
Oh my God. Why is that? Yeah.
What did you think it said?
I don't even remember.
I don't know. I just got the song out. That's all I could do.
No, that's... Oh my God.
He's straight up panicking. It's all in his eyes.
I don't even remember what I used to think it was, but the whole, like where he says hard to handle now.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was just jumbled together and I could never piece it together. So like when you're singing along, you're like, and then you knew the rest of the words and you were fine.
Yeah, but you could mumble through that.
But then as soon as somebody said the words, it just went click and you knew exactly what they were saying. And I'm like, that makes total sense now.
Like, oh, shit.
I spent my entire childhood.
Wrong. Do you ever listen to these songs from the 90s that obviously, like I said, we listened to, and you listen to it and it actually has meaning about how sad your life is, and you're like, oh my God, I was singing that. Excuse me, I got the hiccups all of a sudden. I was singing that as a kid only to predict my future.
Right.
Maybe I am psychic after all.
Like okay, so like if you listen to top 40 back in the day, like
Casey Kasem?
Well, no, but I mean just like top 40 songs, like top 40 radio and whatnot.
We always listen to Casey Kasem.
Like TLC, Chasing Waterfall, I mean all this other stuff, and then like you get older and you realize the shit that they're talking about and you're like, oh, I was singing that.
Right.
Oops.
like okay, so this is a prime example. This has been years ago. I had a really heavy phase of 70s music. Where that's all I listened to forever, which I go through those every now and again.
Yeah, you kind of jump around a
little bit. Yeah, I'm kind of, and then I'll kind of
hard to handle now.
Yeah, I'll kind of handle now. I'll kind of hang out in one genre and then for a little while, and then I'll move on. Well, anyway, my 70s era, I called Mom and I was like, "Oh my God, I just listened to Billy Squier Stroke It. That's fucking foul.
Yeah.
Were you guys singing that in the 70s?" And she's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, did you know what he was saying? She was like, yeah. And I was like, Mother. Yeah.
Yep.
Brenda? But yeah.
I mean, she works too.
She does. Please.
No, music is one of those things where it's, like you connect with it, and you enjoy the song. Like even when you're little, you're just like, oh yeah, I really like this. I like the sound of it. I like, the vibe.
You can't tell me there's not one person out there, not one person in the world that has never been able to say, I hear a song and it takes me right back to a certain place in my life.
Yeah.
Like everybody has a song or however many songs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't doubt that there's no way that there's any one person out there that doesn't think that. Or doesn't have that core memory.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so interesting that music really can take you to a whole nother world.
Yeah,
essentially.
I mean, it truly triggers things,
And see, I'm like that with smells too.
Same.
And it'll throw me back to when I was 8 years old. It's like the weirdest thing.
Yeah, like for instance, like if you make my grandmother's biscuits and gravy, like her recipe and like how she did it and everything, like if I walk in the house and I smell that,
it takes you.
It immediately flashes me back to being like 12 years old, hanging out in her kitchen.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like so, it's very distinct. Music does that. Smells do that.
Food does that too. Which maybe that's just a chunky person. Like I mean,
certain things for me do that food wise.
Yeah. But like for us, every family get together was surrounded by food. I came from a big family who loved to cook and loved to bake and loved to do all these things that, oh my gosh, this is crazy, but Velveeta cheese will always take me back to my Grandma Betty's kitchen when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and she would set me up there and give me a piece of cheese while she was cutting it, making whatever. Like, it's just crazy to me.
Like cut 3 or 4 pieces, give you one. Cut 3 or 4
pieces, like a little one.
Yeah.
And like, Velveeta cheese was a delicacy in my house.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Spam in my grandparents' house. Oh, I know.
Yeah, we don't need to go there
Yeah,
again.
we've talked about that. Oof.
Janelle was talking about how she loves it too, and I said, so you're gonna invite, like, she used to eat spam casserole and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, so you're having Jason over for dinner because I'm not cooking that.
No, like if I smell like that, we talk about smells taking you back. If I smelled that, I would literally turn around and walk out the door. I would leave.
Does it gross you out?
Yes.
Is that why? Oh,
Yes.
I didn't think it would gross you out anymore.
No, the smell is just something about it. It was very distinct because it was just like.
Well, I've never smelled it or had it, but for me, my version of that is fried bologna.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
I can't do it.
Yeah. You remember that, what was that little restaurant we used to go to? Bobber's Cafe in Anderson.
Yeah.
And they did a fried bologna sandwich.
But they only had it on, like, they had it, but they would do specials, and that's when it would be really bad, and we couldn't go inside when they did it.
Yeah,
the
like
smell
this
was
little
just
tiny
so
hole in
bad.
the wall. Yeah.
It was literally a bait shop at one point in time.
Oh, it was still a bait shop. They still sold bait
Yeah, they
out of
sold
it.
bait, but then it was also a restaurant, and a very good, amazing restaurant. I don't know if it's still open or not.
I don't know.
Honestly.
I think that when they had to do renovations, they had to shut the location down. I think they moved to like a mobile
Like
kitchen or something. But
best biscuits and gravy ever.
Yeah, French toast. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they had French toast that was on like this thick Texas toast bread. It was like 1.5 inches thick. It was.
And they always had
phenomenal.
Dole Whip.
Yeah.
Like they would have pineapple, or sometimes they had cherry. They had different flavors. But anyway, amazing. But whenever they had fried bologna, we had to get it to go.
Yeah,
We couldn't do
We
it.
couldn't sit around and smell that.
We couldn't do it.
Nope. So.
Well, that really veered off to the right. But
yeah.
I don't hate it.
All about the food
Well, and the music and
the music.
all the things.
Yeah. So I feel like we're missing out something. Like we've had some other things happen. But
That's the problem. If we don't make a note, no notes.
Notes?
No.
I know.
No.
Like, and you used to get on me about that. Like, we can't, script everything. And,
No, it's not about scripting, but if I don't put it in a note anymore, I'm not going to remember it. I don't know.
We're just busy.
I'm not going to say it's my age because it's really, I've always been like this. I've always been forgetful like this. If I don't put it down, though, I don't remember it. And then sometimes I'm that age, I'm that old person that I write notes on paper, but then I forget where I put the piece of paper.
Right. And I've been getting into doing voice notes on my phone. Like
I do those sometimes.
Like I'll be walking around and I'll think of something and my phone will be in like my belt clip or whatnot. And I'll ask it, I'll say, hey, whatever. So it doesn't actually do it right now. Create a note for this, and this, and then set a reminder.
Well, see, I've been doing that. So I do my best thinking on my way, usually home from work in the mornings. I don't know.
Like 90% asleep driving?
Well, no, I'm just usually 50% out of it. But like my mind really races because I'm so tired.
Right.
That's when I really come up with some of my best things. And sometimes, though, my drive home is so treacherous, like with the curves and stuff, I can't necessarily make a note. And I'm like, okay, as soon as I get home, and then I'll forget. And it's, a terrible cycle. But I'm trying to do better about that. That's why I had a note on my phone tonight.
I know. You sent it to me. I was very proud of you.
I had notes sent to him. He didn't even read it.
Well, I was driving.
It doesn't matter. I still sent it to you, sir.
I acknowledged that you sent it to me. I just wasn't going to read it while I was driving. Because, I don't want to be the texting and driving asshole.
Oh, okay. It's a whole 7-minute drive home, sir. You could have read it when you got home.
Well, I was busy seeing you when I got home. And the dogs. And the Brenda.
Well, today was her birthday, by the way.
Yes. So everybody wish
Brenda a happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Oh, we took her out to dinner the other night. Embarrassed the fuck out of her.
Pissed.
It was hilarious. We got the whole fucking restaurant staff to sing to her.
So I didn't know it was happening, but Jason was like,
I kind of like winked at the waitress and I was like, yeah, it's her birthday. And
better you winking than me.
Yeah.
Ma'am, are you having a seizure?
Maybe.
But yeah, they sang to her. She wanted to die.
Yeah. She shrunk 3 sizes in the corner of the booth.
Visibly. You just saw her go, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, on that note, everybody, thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
I don't know what we have planned for the next one, but We're sure going to make it amazing.
I think, because people are probably tired of just hearing from us. I think we should probably have some guests on next time.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get some new people on.
I think we've got that going. I think we're there. I've almost got my boss talked into it.
Oh, yeah. He wants to fire you and hire me.
Yeah. Yeah. Likes you better than me. But then I also looked at him. I'm like, you're a fucking dick. So.
I mean, what can I say?
Yeah. That's the relationship my boss and I have. Interestingly enough, we were talking about that today because me and him were kind of spatting back and forth over a deal at work. And John, my big boss, he was sitting there and he's older. Like my boss and he and I are about the same age. And John is much older. I won't say much older, but probably 15, 20 years older than us, right? And we were going back and forth, and he's just sitting there laughing his ass off, just hysterically laughing his ass off. And I had this epiphany. I looked over at him, and I was like, John, it's like you're in Step Brothers. Literally.
Just watching the ping pong back and forth?
Yeah, and you're the dad going, what the fuck is going on? And he just died. Because he was like, yeah, that is exactly it.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Well, your boss listened to our podcast, and you told him to start out slow. He listened to season 2, episode 1 about the Fruit Looping.
Yeah.
So I found out, and I asked him if he was pro Lucky Charms.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, that's been one of those funny things. Like we've hired some new people, and he's like, yeah, you should definitely listen to the podcast, and you should tell me what you think about Fruit Loops. Like he's on it. Like he's promoting it. Like he cracks up with it. It's hilarious.
Well, we appreciate you, Joe.
Yes, definitely.
Well, everybody, really. But anyway, on that note, we're going to go.
Are we?
We can't wait to see you the next time or talk to you, whatever is your preferred method.
Or listen to us to watch you watch us. But I don't know.
You made it weird.
I don't know. Like it's this weird conundrum.
You made it weird. Okay. On that note, bye.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. Make sure to share and like us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/The Adventures of E and on YouTube at www.youtube.com/@Adventures of E. See you next time.